What's up gamers, DreamcastGuy here, and it's Top 10 Thursday. As of right now, the PlayStation 4 is the fastest selling console on the planet, and that's all because of one main reason. It just has hundreds of fun things to play. This week, I was to dig through its huge library and find the coolest stuff you haven't heard of on my picks for the top 10 great PS4 games you probably don't know. Number 10. Lara Croft in the Temple of Osiris. When most people think of the Tomb Raider series, they imagined her grand adventures in lost cities and the amazing treasure she's found. This spin-off wanted to show another aspect of this legendary heroine. Lara Croft is a 4-player co-op dungeon crawler with an interesting focus on puzzles. Each character has different abilities to use in combat, but also to solve problems. It ends up making a gameplay experience that feels like a crazy blend of Diablo 3 and Little Big Planet. If you have some friends who love weird multiplayer, definitely check this out. Number 9. Furi. In some old school games, there'd be an extra mode called Boss Rush that lets you skip the long levels and instead just take on the toughest fights back to back. While it was a rather odd concept, fans really seem to enjoy it. Furi is essentially an entire project based around this mode. You play as a prisoner being held captive on a tiny moon. In order to win your freedom and return to your regular life, you'll have to defeat each of the super powerful jailers blocking your path. Every enemy has several phases, secret weapons, and some truly devastating attacks, so it can take hours of practice to learn even a single battle. With all the gorgeous art and fantastic combos though, it's easy to keep retrying until you finally master it. Number 8. Toukiden Kiwami. Those who are passionate about the Monster Hunter series are going to feel right at home with this game. Our story opens with humanity on the edge of going totally extinct. The last remaining hope of the world rests with the Slayers, specially trained mercenaries who have been assigned the duty of pushing an army of demons back to the gates of hell. By accepting jobs, we get to travel the land, killing the deadliest creatures for money, gear, and to figure out how these monsters nearly came to destroy us all. What this project does better than anything is provide an intriguing combination of Japanese mythology and absolutely insane character design. Seriously, just look at a couple of the things we have to beat in order to earn upgrades. If you're craving an ultra-hardcore action title, you really need to grab a sword and jump into Toukiden today. Number 7. Valkyria Chronicles Remastered. It might seem like I'm cheating by putting a remastered project on this list, but really everyone needs to play this RPG. Valkyria Chronicles is an awesome turn-based role-playing game, but while many titles in this genre of the classic fantasy style, this one takes place in a very modern setting. During an age of terrible war, our heroes must equip themselves well and dig inside their hearts to find the bravery necessary to take on their foes. Claiming victory is a matter of pure mental strength instead of just brute force. Units are only allowed to move and fire once per turn, so depending on how we control the field means you could pull off some incredibly damaging strikes. The more weeks I put into Valkyria Chronicles, the more I noticed how complex yet easy to understand these battles could be, which just shows how smart the design is. Number 6. White Knight. I've always had a real soft spot for good survival horror. Finding a project that can keep me scared from start to finish is pretty rare, but White Knight does so in a unique way. Using black and white graphics and a 1930s soundtrack, it captures the sense that we're stuck in some sort of nightmarish comic book. The small dashes of color we see come from the light of matches we carry and the red of blood on the ground. We fill the shoes of a random stranger who gets in a car accident outside a seemingly abandoned house. Hoping to get help, he breaks in and begins exploring. Unfortunately for him, this place is full of the ghosts of victims who have been trapped here before. While the glow of fire can hold them back as we investigate this mansion, searching for both answers and a way out, you know that eventually these spirits will take your life. This is one title that'll certainly leave you afraid of the dark. Number 5. Abzu. In the deepest part of the ocean, a tiny person with flippers awakens. Who this guy is, or how he's able to breathe so far underwater, isn't exactly known. In fact, not much of anything is really said at all in Abzu, but that's part of its magic. Swimming through gorgeous environments, we get to ride whales, discover ancient ruins, and unlock the mystery of what's going on here. I feel like a lot of video games lately get really heavy about explaining everything. They tell you pointless stuff about buttons and make you go through painful tutorials. Abzu is built with the total opposite idea in mind. In this place, all you need to do is keep your eyes open and your mind alert to notice the subtle patterns of the sea. This is one of those projects that gets more interesting on your second or third playthrough because you begin to see much more of the marvelous detail woven into animals. It's about as close as you can get to deep ocean diving without getting wet. Number 4. Overcooked. Something we don't see nearly enough of anymore is couch co-op games. Titles that you can just sit down with, surrounded by friends, and enjoy all night. Overcooked was clearly designed to be the ultimate silly party game, and it succeeds on every level. We play as a team of chefs who are tasked with learning the art of cooking so that they can stop the world from ending. That may sound ridiculous, but you can also be a little doggy in an apron, so really everything about this game is goofy in some way. On each map, we must communicate with our buddies to figure out the fastest way to prepare orders and get them delivered in the shortest amount of time. Dicing onions, boiling soup, and doing dishes has never been so funny and so infuriating at once. The missions start out pretty normal, having us just make simple burgers with the proper toppings customers want, but things keep escalating until eventually we're frying fish baskets and moving cars driving down the highway. Everything about Overcooked adds together to make it easily one of the best co-op games ever made. Number 3. Aragami. For those who grew up with the Tenchu series, you're probably already used to this style of incredibly intricate yet beautifully made stealth games. Aragami is an effort to bring that form of amazing sneaking to the PlayStation 4. After being brought back from the dead, our zombie ninja hero is given the duty of helping assassinate an evil emperor. There's just one problem. He only has a single night to exist. When the sun rises, the Aragami must return to his grave, so it's time to get moving. The story is broken into chapters, introducing new elements of the world to make our enemies seem more human and also slowly imbuing us with magical skills in the process. Being able to teleport between shadows, throw sharp knives to eliminate threats, and even melt the bodies of foes so there's no trace of our crimes can all be done. What I love most about this game is that it can be surprisingly tricky to beat. If you're seen, soldiers can kill you in a single hit. The key to winning is to always stay one step ahead and keep 15 backup plans prepared in your mind for any moment. Number 2. Oceanhorn, Monster of Uncharted Seas. The Legend of Zelda has been a main pillar of Nintendo's strong lineup of franchises for over 30 years now. In the decades since Link's creation, many developers have tried to copy him in some way, though overall these clones were pretty big failures. Oceanhorn aims to change that by combining all the greatest features of Zelda and rolling them into an epic little adventure. In this land, the citizens live in fear. A mighty beast has risen up and threatens to consume their peaceful, colorful country unless a young man can claim his destiny and save the day. By hopping on our boat, we set sail to different islands, meeting strangers, asking questions, and figuring out where to go. A prophecy tells that if we gather enough relics scattered across the globe together, we might have a small chance of slaying the monster. Obviously, just looking at the graphics and general flow, this is 100% a ripoff, but that isn't really a bad thing. This game somehow keeps that spark of curiosity that makes Zelda so perfect alive. Climbing down into a dungeon, swinging your sword, and collecting loot is just fantastic, and I'm genuinely impressed that these designers were able to bring this special charm to the PlayStation. Number 1. Earth Defense Force 4.1 The Shadow of New Despair. Imagine if you took a bunch of random anime characters, had them sign up for the military, and then made them fight giant ants. Earth Defense Force is so hilarious you'll likely cry from laughter while also being very confused as to what's going on. We can take on the role of a tactical fighter, a mechanized robot murder machine, or my personal favorite, this weird lady with a jetpack and a sniper rifle. When aliens arrive at the planet, they start dumping millions of huge bugs on us in an attempt to wipe out the human race. Lucky for us, the EDF is ready with some massive firepower, even if it means they accidentally destroy cities themselves. This project left me stunned into silence at least once per mission just due to how insane it was. Firing heat lasers at a spider hanging off a building is shocking, but then hearing a teammate yell, "I'm gonna fry that 8-legger like a cheesesteak," changes the scene from plainly cool to outright bizarre. The best part of all though is you can beat this whole trippy experience with friends to make the already brain-breaking plot make even less sense. For its unique story, explosive gameplay, and purposefully terrible voice acting, I am awarded this my pick as the greatest PS4 game you probably don't know. Did your favorite obscure title not make the list? Got an idea for a future top 10? Leave it in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, share with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already. But do me the biggest favor of all and keep dreaming. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm super sick this week. If I look a little funny, I do apologize. I'm gonna go read this giant book about Zelda and just freaking die. You guys rock. Thank you so much. The comments are always so great. I'm dying. I'm gonna go die. I'm dying. Thanks so much for watching. If you liked this video, maybe check out my last video. Please subscribe, and if you want, share this somewhere with your friends.